I'm at REIT World 2012 in San Diego, and joining me today is Eric Rothman, Portfolio Manager with Urdang Securities. Thanks so much for joining us, Eric.
Appreciate being here.
If you had to sum up what we've seen in the listed REIT market in one sentence, what would that be?
I would say that REITs are solidly back on offense. All of the restructuring that they needed to do with their balance sheet is in the distant past. They've got the tailwinds of rising fundamentals, both gaining back occupancy. We're starting to see a little bit of selective rent growth across sectors. Rent inducements, concessions are all starting to fall away. So we're at the point where we're really starting to see some real above-trend growth, and I think that will continue for the next 18 to maybe even 24 months. One of the other things that we've seen this year in particular has been an increase in outperformance of the small and midcap REITs. And I think that that is a continued indication of the REIT market's healthy recovery to normal. As capital starts to flow out of the primary cities, the most core of core markets, core of core assets, it's finding a home in the smaller and more periphery assets. And that generally has benefited the smaller cap REITs. And I think that as capital continues to migrate out, it's a great indication that investors are being much more selective and rewarding those small and mid-cap REITs for their enhanced growth profile.
How do you see REITs utilizing the capital that they've been able to raise in 2012?
It's going to be acquisitions of new properties as well as properties that they already own. And by that I mean they're going to be buying their, in some cases, joint venture partners' interest in assets that they have a partial ownership interest in. Those are some of the lowest risk acquisitions that they can do, so I think that that's a wonderful use of their capital. They'll also be pressing redevelopment, and I think that they'll also be doing, in certain sectors, selective new development. And then lastly, I think that REITs fully appreciate their vehicle, their role as an income vehicle. And as a result, I think that you are going to start to see even a greater increase in dividends. So we'll see some dividend growth.
Have you seen more interest in U.S. commercial real estate from foreign investors?
We have, both from Japanese investors, Chinese investors, Australian investors, in addition to even some Middle East investors. It seems today that everyone is an income investor, and they appreciate the high yields in the U.S. REIT space, as well as in the global REIT space. So we've had interest from non-U.S. investors in U.S. REITs, but as well as our global REIT offerings.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Eric.
I appreciate being here.
I'm Carissa Chappelle for REIT.com.